They called it a villain era. I call it a character development. I stopped shrinking for the comfort of the room. Stop making myself digestible. Stopped assuming that my presence was a problem to be managed. That my edges needed filing before landing in polite company. Who decided what was polite anyway? Who made the rules about how much space I'm allowed to take today? I looked it up, I couldn't find my name in any document that said I had to play it tame. So I stopped, just completely stopped. The over-explaining and the softening and the shrinking of the cost that I was asking the world to pay for the enormous inconvenience of me being exactly who I am on any given day. They said she's changed, I said no, I arrived. Everything before was the rehearsal, this is the life. Call it villain era, call it what you want. I call it knowing what I am and being unapologetically front. Villain era. I stopped apologizing for my power. Villain era. Stop making myself smaller by the hour. If the comfort of the room requires my disappearance, then the room was never built for my appearance. Villain era. I'm the main character now. Villain era. I'm the main character. Full stop, no notes. Villain era. I cut the people who required my diminishment. I cut the conversations with no nourishment. I cut the obligations built on guilt and on the ancient debt of being liked by people who were complacent in the mediocrity and called it being grounded. I was grounded too, 6 feet under, fully drowned in someone else's vision of who I was supposed to present as acceptable enough to get their endorsement. Now I endorse myself loudly and in writing. Now I show up to my own life like it's actually worth arriving. Now I take the seat at every table that I want, and if the table doesn't have one, I brought my own front. Call it villain era, call it what you want. I call it knowing what I am and being unapologetically front. Villain era. I stopped apologizing for my power. Villain era. Stop making myself smaller by the hour. If the comfort of the room requires my disappearance, then the room was never built for my appearance. Villain era. I'm the main character now. Villain era. I'm the main character. Full stop, no notes. Villain era. The villain in their story is the hero in mine. Read the same events from where I'm standing this time. Different book entirely. Villain era. Main character, no notes. Yeah. Nobody handed me the blueprint for this version. I drew it in the margins of the person I refuse to keep being. Let me be specific. The fear-based smallness, operating conflict, avoiding pleas, approving overgiving. Edition of myself that I was living in for 30 years before I picked up the pencil and drew the line that made the whole thing sensible. I am the architect of myself. Every wall I built with full intention. Every room designed for actual living. Not performance, not appearance, not convention. The foundation is the truth I stopped avoiding. The frame is made of every no I finally said. The windows face the east because I chose them, and the light comes in the way I need instead. Didn't wait for someone to construct me. Picked up every tool and built precisely. Architect of myself. Every floor plan drawn by my own hand. Architect of myself. Built on ground I chose to understand. Tore the old walls down without apology. took the longest. Architect of myself, this version is the best. See, the old version had a lot of square footage, but none of the rooms were actually livable. Impressive from the outside, hollow in the middle. The kind of building no one wants to live in full. I gutted it, it wasn't comfortable. I gutted it, it wasn't pretty work. I gutted it, at 33 in a hotel room in the city where nobody knew my worth. And then the gutting found the actual structure, the bones that were always mine and always strong. I just been decorating over damage and calling the performance getting along. Now I build with purpose, now I build with time. Every room I occupy was drawn by my design. Didn't wait for someone to construct me. Picked up every tool and built precisely. Architect of myself, every floor plan drawn by my own hand. Architect of myself, built on ground I chose to understand. Tore the old walls down without apology, kept the bones it held and cleared the rest. Architect of myself, this version took the longest. Architect of myself, this version is the best. And when they ask me who designed this person, I say I did. Line by line, room by room, choice by choice. In the dark, with no guarantee that any of it would hold. It held. Architect of myself, built this. Every line mine. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody believed, where the consensus of the people in my life was I should leave the dream alone and find a more practical direction. Find a lane that fit inside their limited perception of what someone built like me was capable of reaching, or what someone from where I'm from deserved to be believing was possible. I heard it clearly, heard it often. I started in the place where doubt becomes the rocket fuel you run on. I didn't argue, I didn't perform my confidence for them. I just went back to work and waited for the evidence to speak louder than their certainty about my ceiling. That's a particular kind of patience. That's a particular kind of feeling when the evidence arrives. Oh, this isn't arrogance. This is the invoice of every year I worked in rooms that had no audience. Last one standing after everything they said would end me. Last one standing. Every doubt that was supposed to bend me became the architecture of the standing. Every note became a floor. Every room that wouldn't have me made me build a better door. Last one standing, look around. Last one standing, on the ground. On the ground, I cleared myself, still here. Last one standing. I wanna be precise about what standing means. It doesn't mean I won the version that they scripted. It means I outlasted the narrative entirely and built a different story while they're still invested. In the one where I was limited and small, in the one where the ceiling was a wall. I walked around the wall, I didn't break it dramatically. I simply found the edge and kept walking. The ones who counted me out are still counting. The ones who kept my ceiling are still under theirs. I'm not looking back with malice, I'm looking back with something closer to the gratitude of someone who needed the resistance to build the strength to carry everything that's coming. This isn't arrogance, this is the invoice of every year I worked in rooms that had no audience. Last one standing after everything they said wouldn't need. Last one standing, every doubt that was supposed to bend me became the architecture of the standing. Every note became a floor, every room that wouldn't have me made me build a better door. Last one standing, look around. Last one standing, on the ground. On the ground, I cleared myself, still here. Last one standing. I wanna say something to the version of me that was in the room where nobody believed you were right. And the patience was worth it, and the work in the dark was worth it. And every morning you chose to continue without evidence that it would work. Was the most important work you ever did. Keep going, you are the last one standing. And you built that line by line. Last one standing. Last one standing. Built this every line. Last one standing. Still here. Still here. Short money's loud, long money's quiet. Learn the difference. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone around me chasing the immediate, the quick return, the visible, the clickable. I've been building something that won't show its face for 3 years minimum, maybe 5. And I'm okay with the timeline of the planet C, with the invisible accumulation of what I need to become, not just to have. There's a difference, I'm after the compound interest of the consistent. I don't need the room to know my name tonight. I need the room I own in 7 years to be built right. I don't need the validation of the current moment. I need the character that makes the future's footing solid. Long money never made noise. Long money doesn't need the noise. Short wins are for people who haven't decided what they want. Long money is for people who can see past what they want right now. The long money don't announce itself till it's already won. The long money works while everyone else has fun. I am not here for the applause of the beginning. I am here for the legacy of the finishing. The long money takes time, takes patience, takes the choosing of the future over comfort. The long money, that's what I'm building in every ordinary day. I watch the fast ones flame and disappear with all the heat of something that was never built to last a year. I've watched the overnight success at month 18, discovered that the overnight had nothing in between the moment and the hollow of the after. No foundation for the floor beneath the rafters of the version they presented to the audience, who turned away the moment that the novelty was obsolete. I build foundations in the seasons no one sees, in the 6 a.m. discipline, in the chosen expertise, in the relationships maintained long past their obvious utility, in the integrity preserved. Even when the compromise is free, the long money knows patience is the most expensive skill, and also the most profitable. comfortable. Short wins are for people who haven't decided what they want. Long money is for people who can see past what they want right now. The long money don't announce itself till it's already won. The long money works while everyone else has fun. I am not here for the applause of the beginning. I am here for the legacy of the finishing. The long money takes time, takes patience, takes the choosing of the future over comfort. The long money, that's what I'm building in every ordinary day. In 5 years, everything I'm planting now will be so obvious that people will call it overnight. I'll smile and keep building. Long money, already building. Long money. Watch the room. I don't announce myself, the room does that for me. I walk in at my own speed and let the atmosphere agree with the fact of my arrival, the inevitability of someone built like this, existing with this visibility. Every conversation pauses at the natural break point. Every eye makes its assessment and arrives at the same conclusion they all arrive at. Something here is different, something here is alive. In a way the room was missing before I filled the doorway, before the temperature adjusted to my presence, before the people in the back craned forward like they'd missed the first and most important lesson. I don't perform the entrance, I just enter. The room performs for me. Not arrogance, accuracy. I know what I carry, I know what I bring. I know the room. The room goes quiet, not from fear, from recognition. The room goes quiet, like a song between two notes of the composition. I am the pause that makes the music matter, the space that makes the sound significant. The room goes quiet every single time. The room goes quiet and I take my time. I've been in rooms where power wore a costume, where confidence was volume and aggression, where everyone performed their own importance and called the noise sophistication. I walked through all of those rooms unchanged. I didn't need the validation of the loudest voice. I carried something quieter and sharper, the kind of presence that was never a performance, always a choice. I choose to be exactly what I am. No more displayed than necessary, no less than everything I've earned. The room goes quiet because the room can feel the difference between the built and the performed. Not arrogance, accuracy. I know what I carry, I know what I bring. I know the room. The room goes quiet, not from fear, from recognition. The room goes quiet, like a song between two notes of the composition. I am the pause that makes the music matter, the space that makes the sound significant. The room goes quiet every single time. The room goes quiet and I take my time. The most powerful thing in any room is the person who doesn't need it to know who they are. The room goes quiet every time. Every room. Yeah. Crown heavy. always been. I walk into every room and feel the shift in temperature. The way the air gets careful when it recognizes character. I didn't ask to be the one they call when everything collapses. I just kept showing up while everyone else practiced. Being unavailable, being too complicated. I was the one at 3 a.m. never hesitated. Now they bring me every problem wrapped in someone else's drama. I carry it like architecture. Built my whole life on the trauma of being needed. But I don't complain. Crown heavy means the crown is real. Let me tell you what it feels to be the one who holds the room together in the worst of weather. Every season, every endeavor. This is what the throne costs. Not the glory, the weight. Not the applause, the staying when everyone else hesitates. Crown heavy, still wearing it. Crown heavy, still bearing it. Every burden, every broken person, every call at night. Crown heavy is the price of being built right. I don't want your sympathy, don't want your tears. Crown heavy, I've been carrying this for years, and I'm still here. See, the thing about the crown is nobody talks about the migraines. The way the gold gets cold at 4 a.m. when the night drains. Every last reserve you thought you had in storage. I've been operating on the courage of a short list of reasons to continue. Let me name them clearly. The people I protected, the few who see me nearly as I actually am, beneath the capable performance. The ones who know the man behind the enormous reputation I maintain with careful silence. The me that lives behind the competent compliance. I could put it down, I think about it sometimes, but the crown heavy feeling is the closest thing to purpose I have found in rhymes. This is what the throne cost. Not the glory, the weight. Not the applause, the staying when everyone else hesitates. Crown heavy, still wearing it. Crown heavy, still bearing it. Every burden, every broken person, every call at night. Crown heavy is the price of being built right. I don't want your sympathy, don't want your tears. Crown heavy, I've been carrying this for years, and I'm still here. The weak ones put it down and call it boundaries. The broken ones never picked it up at all. I am the one who knows the difference between the weight that builds you and the weight that makes you fall. Yeah. This one builds. Crown heavy, still mine, still wearing it. Ice in the bloodline runs in the family. They come at me aggressive, thinking chaos is a weapon. I respond with such precision, they forget what they were stepping into. Watch me disassemble every argument they carry with the calm of someone doing nothing extraordinary. Just thinking clearly in a room of people losing heads. Just speaking slowly when the room demands the overfed reaction. The performance of the rattled and the shaken. I give them nothing. Watch how much that gets them taken down a level, then another, till the fury has no purchase on the surface of a person who has found a deeper purpose than reacting to the provocations of the temporary. I am built for the long game, they are built for January. I don't raise my voice, I lower the temperature. I don't win the argument, I become the architecture. Ice in the bloodline, not coldness, clarity. Ice in the bloodline, not distance, accuracy. Ice in the bloodline. don't break under pressure, I crystallize, ice in the bloodline. Every crisis makes me sharper, not surprised. They want the rattle version they can manipulate. I give them the composed one they cannot penetrate, ice in the bloodline. Been this way since the beginning, ice in the bloodline. That's why I keep winning. See, emotion isn't weakness, but it's weather, and weathering in negotiation helps nobody. I feel everything, don't misread the stillness. I just file it for the moment when the filing has a quality, a purpose, a precision of the perfectly timed. I am patient in the way that only frightens the impatient. I am quiet in the way that only threatens the outspoken. And I am dangerous specifically because I am unbroken by the pressure that dismantles lesser constructed persons. I have been in rooms where everything was working against me, and I walked out richer in some currency of self-respect that money can't compete with urgently. Ice runs deep. You can't melt what was made for the cold. Ice in the bloodline, not coldness, clarity. Ice in the bloodline, not distance, accuracy. Ice in the bloodline, I don't break under pressure, I crystallize, ice in the bloodline. Every crisis makes me sharper, not surprised. They want the rattle version they can manipulate. I give them the composed one they cannot penetrate, ice in the bloodline. Been this way since the beginning, ice in the bloodline. That's why I keep winning. The temperature in any room I enter adjusts to me, not the other way. Ice in the bloodline, always has been. Ice. I don't rush for anything or anyone, never have. Everybody running like the clock is the authority. I decided long ago that wasn't a priority of mine. I move at the speed of a decision, made with full information and precision. At the speed of someone else's anxiety, projected onto me like it's a property. I'm obligated to respect and internalize. I hear the urgency, I just don't recognize its jurisdiction over how I occupy my time. I built a life that runs on my design, not the deadline of the impatient, not the timeline of the people I keep, not the pace of a world that confuses moving fast with having somewhere worth arriving at last. I do the slow walk through every room that wants me to run. Slow walk, I'll get there, I've always got there, I've won every race I chose to enter on the terms I set. I have never arrived somewhere with arriving at by being upset. Urgency is someone else's crisis, wearing my name on the label, I return it every time. Slow walk through everything that wants me moving faster. Slow walk, I am no one's emergency disaster. I arrive exactly when I choose to, looking exactly like I mean to be here. Slow walk, unhurried and unbothered. Slow walk, the most powerful thing in the room is the one who never runs. See, the slow walk isn't laziness, get that clear. It's the decision to be present in the atmosphere of every moment rather than burning through the living to arrive at some imagined destination. I've been given on my urgency tour without ever asking why I'm hurrying and whether what I'm chasing is actually mine or just the shape of someone else's dream that I adopted off the cultural shelves around age 22 when I was porous to the idea that speed was how you won the chorus of approval from the audience that I was performing for back then. I'm not performing anymore, I move at the speed of knowing who I am. That's the only speed that matters in the plan. Urgency is someone else's crisis, wearing my name on the label, I return it every time. Slow walk through everything that wants me moving faster. Slow walk, I am no one's emergency disaster. I arrive exactly when I choose to, looking exactly like I mean to be here. Slow walk, unhurried and unbothered. Slow walk, the most powerful thing in the room is the one who never runs. Watch the slow walk. Nothing is more confident than someone who has decided that the world will wait. Slow walk, always get there. Slow walk. Nobody sent me. Nobody co-signed this. Nobody opened the door. I built the door. Let me tell you what it costs to arrive without a cosign, without the network and the nepotism in the car spine, or someone else's credibility to lean on, without the room that someone made because they seen on your behalf. A path worth clearing, I cleared my own. With tools I bought myself and skills I honed alone. At the table I constructed, in the room I rented, in the city that had no idea I descended on it with intentions that were bigger than my budget, with the vision that the people in my circle couldn't touch it, with the understanding of the distance between where I was and where I decided I was going, just because I decided. Nobody sent me. Nobody carried my name into the room before I walked in. The ones who made it with a hand forget the feel of the climb. The ones who made it from nothing know every inch, every line. Nobody sent me, I sent myself. Nobody cleared the path, I cleared the path myself. Every credential self-administered, every door I walked through I had to make the door first. Nobody sent me, and that's the whole story, yeah. Nobody sent me, and that's the whole glory. I don't say this with resentment toward the ones who had it easier. I say it as a fact, it's clean and plain as any. I am the sum of every early morning no one saw, of every rejection that I turned into a floor to stand on, not a ceiling to stay under, of every bridge I built while burning through the thunder of my own uncertainty. I kept building through the doubt, I kept building through the knowing, kept building through the drought of the resources and the evidence that any of this was going to work. I kept building, and the building is the point, not the arrival. The building I am most alive in the construction. Nobody sent me into that, I walked in myself, and I'm still walking. The ones who made it with a hand forget the feel of the climb. The ones who made it from nothing know every inch, every line. Nobody sent me, I sent myself. Nobody cleared the path, I cleared the path myself. Every credential self-administered, every door I walked through I had to make the door first. Nobody sent me, and that's the whole story, yeah. Nobody sent me, and that's the whole glory. They'll write the story later and leave out the middle. They'll call it a gift or call it luck. I'll call it 4 a.m. And the decision to continue in continuation had no guarantee. That's the whole biography right there. Nobody sent me. Nobody sent me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nobody sent me. Still building. I've been sending smoke signals. You just weren't watching. I've been patient in the way that telegraphs a warning. I've been quiet in the way that means I'm not ignoring anything. I see exactly what you're doing. I see the angle and the architecture of the choosing to underestimate me. It's a pattern I've observed in people who mistake composure for deserving less attention and less credit than they've taken. I let them until the moment of their waking. I don't telegraph the move, I telegraph the consequence. I don't announce the chess, I show the board in evidence after the fact, when the position is so clear that even the opponent can see what I've been building here for months. Smoke signals, been rising for a while. Smoke signals, in plain view the whole time. If you miss them, that's the information. Smoke signals. I don't hide my intentions, I display them in the language you chose not to study. Smoke signals. I've been telling you exactly who I am. If you chose to read it as a bluff, then the result is yours. Smoke signals, we're always there. Smoke signals, you just didn't care enough to look. Now you know. The thing about the people who've been watching carefully is we rarely need to raise our voice to charitably inform you of the shift. We simply shift and let the consequence be eloquent and swift and thorough and complete in its communication of the fact that patience has a termination date, and that date is one I set, not one that happens to me register. I've been in rooms with people who mistook my open face for an open book. They read the surface and assumed the depth was equal. I let them keep that. Smoke signals, we're always in plain sight. I've been generous with the warning. I'm done with that tonight. Smoke signals, been rising for a while. Smoke signals, in plain view the whole time. If you miss them, that's the information. Smoke signals. I don't hide my intentions, I display them in the language you chose not to study. Smoke signals. I've been telling you exactly who I am. If you chose to read it as a bluff, then the result is yours. Smoke signals, we're always there. Smoke signals, you just didn't care enough to look. Now you know. The most dangerous person in the room is not the loudest. It's the one who's been watching since you walked in. Smoke signals.